Hi Rosie, hi Megan. Hello, hello. Hi Sally. Good morning everybody. Hi Joan. Morning Ben. Hi Mary and family. It's sort of an overcast sort of day today, but not terrible. Hi Claire. Hi Julie. I'm in the conservatory. I have a, let me see if I can do this. I don't know if I can, there we go. I have somebody watching me today. It's Merlin the cat. He's just sharing a moment with me. Hopefully he'll stay over there, look after himself. Just going to share my 10 minutes tea break with you. Hi Mavis. Andy spoke yesterday. We'll be speaking about salt and light this week, haven't we? And Luke and Leah talking about salt on Monday, Tuesday, and Andy spoke about light yesterday, and I'm picking up part 2, if you will. Knowledge and learning, I suppose, is what I would call this. Andy, if you remember, yesterday spoke about light, and he talked about a light, a torch that lit up a dark path on the way back to somewhere where they used to stay on holiday. Remember that? And it was a good metaphor, wasn't it? It was an interesting way to describe about direction. Now, if you've ever been in perfect darkness, I'm sure you have, hi Elaine, particularly in the countryside, that sort of thing where you literally can't see your hand in front of your face, it's odd, isn't it? It feels really like, whoa, freaky, you know? It feels really, really weird when it's that dark that you can almost taste it and you can't see your hand. If somebody struck a match even a long, long way away, you'd see it. You'd see it. And so that would be something that would be like an odd situation, and you almost get disorientated, it's so dark. Now, light is used also in many different ways, but it's always used as a sort of a metaphor for truth. It's a metaphor for knowledge. Remember, you sort of hear about people talking about the light bulb moment, you know? And mankind, personkind, should I say, we have searched for knowledge, enlightenment. You know, light's even in the very word. Hi Matt, hi Leah. So knowledge is important to us, and personkind has sought knowledge out as long as we've been around. Of course, the way that we seek knowledge now is different. It's changed. I mean, in my lifetime, it's changed unbelievably, almost beyond recognition. For example, the internet. Let's look at that. That has been the primary change. Hi, Scott. The internet's changed the world. There's no doubt about that. I can use this thing here, my phone, to I can look it up in a second. The weather in the Amazon basin. I can look up some animals that live in the Amazon basin, and I can book a flight to the Amazon basin, all within like 5-6 minutes. Done. That's incredible to think that 25 years ago, the first time I had internet was, I think, about 25 years ago. We just got married, and the house we lived in, we didn't live in it for very long, 18A, and I lived in there for about 18 months or something like that. 18 months and 18A. Never thought of that. And I remember us using the internet to book a holiday, and it was like, you know, the way that it worked then, it was on dial-up, so it would like scroll across the screen. It'd take forever, but it seemed like magic. I mean, it really did. I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm ancient, but it did seem like magic. Hi, Janine. And then, of course, before that, how did men seek knowledge? Well, loads of different ways. Learning, obviously. Books, things like that. I've got this vague recollection about Encyclopedia Britannica salespeople. And now I'm 50 this year. No, last year. 51 in a month. But I do remember this vaguely. And I think it was more around the sort of 60s, 70s and 80s. But, you know, maybe somebody who remembers it better will correct me. But I rang my mum to find out more information. And because I thought there was a story. She said, yeah, there was a story. She said, when you were kids, the Encyclopedia Britannica salespeople came. Now, the Encyclopedia Britannica, by the way, for those of you who don't know, was a beautiful, often leather-bound 30-odd book amount of knowledge, and they often have titles like, I don't know, Divinity to Evolution, and that'd be that book, and then the next book might be Evolution to, I don't know, foxes or whatever, and so on and so forth. The idea being, you could always look something up and the knowledge was always there. Of course, this was before the internet and what have you. Anyway, these guys came round to mum and dad's, our house, and gave them the real hard sell. Couldn't get rid of them. They were there for 2 hours, all that stuff. And you can imagine it now. How are your kids going to grow up without knowledge? Think about them and all that. Anyway, we did okay. So they signed up. They signed up and to pay for these things for the rest of the natural life. And then and obviously they went. And Mum says, me and your dad looked at each other and we were like, why have we done that? What have we done? Anyway, so Dad chased after these fellas and ripped up the paperwork, and we never got Encyclopedia Britannica. I don't feel I had a bad childhood as a consequence, but nevertheless, didn't have them in our house. But that's how people looked. They looked in books. We look in books in the past. And throughout our lives, we ask questions. At work, we have this thing. This is our survey manual. When I started at work, I printed out the survey manual and I put it in this. I have now thrown it all away because it's now all on here. I don't need this anymore. I don't need to carry this thing around. And that thing told us all about, measurements and dimensions and stuff like that. So our learning was important. The Bible is our ultimate light. That is the light that lights our path in terms of learning. Isaiah 60 says this, arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. See darkness cover the earth, and thick darkness over the people. You know what? I think that's that type of thick darkness I was talking about earlier on, when you're in the country and you're disorientated. I think that's the darkness of the world that we live in, but we just don't see it, which is ironic. So we need structure. We need something that we can learn that will help us to understand the world that we're living in. Now, we've talked a lot over the last few weeks about faith. I know I've covered it in my little devotions quite a bit. And I'd like to make something really, really clear. God is not wanting stupid robots. That's not what it's about. A lot of the people in our church, a lot of the Christians that I know, myself included, well, maybe not me, but we're highly qualified people, intelligent people, educated people. And God is not looking for mindless robots. But faith is an important part of our journey in understanding life and in understanding and connecting with God. Because we can't see God. So we need faith. But God has given us a tool. He's given us a resource, which is the Bible. To say, you know what, you do need faith, but you need understanding as well. You need understanding. I've been throwing books away this last week because we've been trying to sort out one of our rooms. It sounds tragic, doesn't it? Throwing books away, wow. But here's a couple of books that have so far escaped the cult. This one, when I was at school, I was an apprentice mechanic. That's what I used to do, Lee. I was an apprentice mechanic, and this book, I've had 30 odd years, and I did it when I was doing day release. So that's a book there that's out of date. Cars don't work like that anymore. The address that's in the front cover is not even the same address. It's out of date, but I sort of kept it because it sort of reminds me of a time of life that was great. I used to love working on cars. And this is an atlas. Every house had got an atlas at one point. Probably now a lot of houses don't. I've got a really good friend, Sean Fitzackley. He loves looking through atlases. He'll just, look at this name here. There's somewhere called Mabeza Allah, and it's in Central African Republic. And he'll come out with all that sort of information all night. We've all got this data. But this, as Dave Littlewood said, is by reading this, we then develop faith that is informed. And God wants us to be informed. He wants us to be knowledgeable. He wants us to understand. Proverbs 18, verse 15 says, the heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. And then again in Psalm 119, which is a long psalm, all right? It's the longest psalm. But it's a psalm that talks about men acquiring knowledge. It's very well structured. And its theme is to praise the word of the Lord. In verse 105 of that, it says, your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. There's no point in me trying to find out how to live by looking in vehicle and engine technology. The only place I'm going to find out how to live is the source, which is the Bible. The Bible's an incredible book. It blows me away. You know, the times when I have a moment of doubt, when I think, you know what, this is all crazy. You know what's going on, Lord? Why is this? Why is that? And I have those moments of doubt. But bizarrely, the thing that keeps me going is the sheer logic of believing on the Bible and the way the Bible holds together. It's an incredible book. 66 books within it, written over thousands of years by multiple people on a variety of themes, and over and over and over again, it points to Jesus and it points to the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, over and over again. It's crazy insightful. It really is. It's an inspired work of God. John 8 verse 12 says, I am the light of the world. Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And then again John says, I am the way, the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And you know what? The whole of the Bible points to this type of chapter. The whole of the Bible points towards the Gospels. That's the light. That's the true light. It's the only light. Other books can help us to develop understanding, but ultimately the source is the Bible. That's the light that lights our path. I'd like to leave us with a challenge. A challenge that's important for us to consider. Now, as I said, the Gospels are really where it's at in terms of understanding Jesus, the works of Jesus. And in one Gospel, John's Gospel, which is only 21 chapters long, it's short. I've done this before, but I think we should do it again. You know, over the next 7 days, let's read the Gospel of John together. 3 chapters a day, or if you miss a day, 4 chapters the following day. But it's a really interesting read. If you don't normally read the Bible, the Gospel of John is a brilliant place to start. It's where Jesus talks about him being the I am. I am this. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the light of the world. He talks about being the I am, being God, in fact. And it tells the stories of Jesus. It's a great book to start if you don't normally read the Bible. If you do read the Bible, it's a great place to start reading, because you'll already know these stories and they'll resonate with you even more, and you'll connect the dots up even better. I think there's a real sort of strength about us all doing sometimes the same things at the same time. So with me, let's enjoy this challenge. 3 chapters, I'm showing you that. 3 chapters a day for the next 7 days. Let's read the Gospel of John. So that's me. I'm back to work. The cat is still very, very, look at that. What sort of life has he got? Very, very lazy. And have a lovely day, all of you. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.